Alright, in this video we will once again practice graphing piecewise functions. So looking at this piecewise function, these four pieces are all horizontal lines. If you think y equals 4, y equals 2, y equals 0, and y equals -2. Those are all horizontal lines. So y equals 4 would just be a horizontal line at 4 like this. Okay, so let me keep this color coordinated. So right now I'm graphing this function, all right, this piece of the function. But I'm not going to graph the entire line because the domain says we're only going to graph the part where the x values are less than or equal to -1. Okay, so here's where the x values are -1. See the x-axis? So I'm going to start here at -1. And so I'm only going to draw the part that is to the left of -1 because that's where the x values are less than -1. I'm making it a closed circle to show that it's equal to -1. So I'm going to start here and go to the left like this. Okay, so that's what this should look like. Now let's do the next piece. Now again, think y equals 2. All right, I'm graphing this piece right here. Y equals 2 would be a horizontal line at 2 like this. But again, I'm not going to graph the entire line. I'm going to graph the part of the line that's between -1 and +1. So here's -1 and here's +1. So I'm going to graph the part that is between these 2 points. Okay, like this. Now, -1 is less than x, so I'm leaving that in an open circle, which is less than or equal to 1. All right, so we're including 1 in this, so we're going to make this a closed circle. So that's it for that. Let's do the next piece in green. All right, when you look at this, think y equals 0. Y equals 0 would be a horizontal line at 0 like this. But again, I'm not going to draw the whole line. I'm going to only include the part of this line that's between 1 and 3. Okay, so here's 1 and here's 3. So between 1 and 3. Okay, now it says 1 is less than x, so I'm going to leave that in open circle, which is less than or equal to 3. So we're to include the 3 at this level of 0, so I will make this a closed circle. And finally, we will do the -2. Think y equals -2. Y equals -2 would be a horizontal line at -2, like this. But we are not going to draw the entire line. That would fail the vertical line test. We want the part of this where the x values are greater than 3. So here's 3 right here. The x values that are greater than 3 will be to the right, like this. So this is what the piecewise function looks like for number 10. All right, let's take a look at one more, problem number 11. Now, if you had to watch the video for number 10, you should definitely pause the video right now and try to do number 11 by yourself. Okay, now let's see how you did. So, again, when I see this constant, think y equals -2. That would be a horizontal line at -2. Okay, so that would look like this. But we should not be drawing the entire line. only the part of the line where the x values are less than or equal to negative 2. So here's where the x values are equal to negative 2. Now, because we want to include the values that are equal to negative 2, I'm going to make this a closed circle. For less than, I will go to the left. All right, so this ray shows the x values that are less than or equal to negative 2. Okay, so that's the first part of my piecewise function. Looking at the next part, think y equals 1. Y equals 1 would be a horizontal line at 1, like this. But we're not going to draw the whole line. It's only equal to 1 between, for x values between negative 2 and positive 2. So here is negative 2, and here is positive 2. And here are the x values between negative 2 and positive 2. All right, now let's be very careful with the endpoints, all right, the points of discontinuity. Negative 2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 2. I'm going to have an open circle at the negative 2 because the negative 2 is not included, it's less than. But I'm going to have a closed circle at 2 because the less than or equal to 2 means we include the 2. So that's it for the middle part of my piecewise function. And finally, think y equals 4 for the third part. Y equals 4 would be a horizontal line at 4 like this. But once again, we will not keep the entire line. We're only going to draw the part where the x values are greater than 2. So here's 2. Greater than 2 would be to the right. Now, we want the x values that are greater than 2 at this level, not equal to 2. So since there's no equal to 2 happening, we're going to leave this as an open circle. So this is what your answer to number 11 should look like.